Welcome to the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast with Mike Kincaid and Jake Goebel. Join them as they experience specialty coffee and document their journey. These friends explore roasts and roasting methods, brewing equipment and techniques, and review the cafes they visit along the way.
Thanks, Brioni, and thank you for joining us for episode 48 of the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast, where Mike and I talk a little bit about a coffee experience we recently had down in Phoenix, and Mike manages to...
Mikey did the whole, I forgot my wallet trick.
Yeah, Mikey loves that trick. He pulled it at Hava Java when we went down to visit him in Phoenix, and he pulled it at Royal Coffee Bar when we went down to visit him in Phoenix. We ended up going to Safeway and learning how to say Dramamine/Dramamine/ however you want to pronounce it. We also talked about bringing in a new segment for coffee legends or coffee experts. If you like it, hit us up. Appreciate your time. Let's jump right in.
Okay, awesome. We are recording, so thank you.
Thank you.
Wait, what? Okay, we're
For being
recording.
My friend.
It's episode 48 of the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast. I'm Jake Goebel, sitting here with Mike Kincaid, and we are filming video. So apparently the last podcast, aka videocast, aka whatever it was so well received that Mike has decided that the camera needs to be focused on me more often than not. Is that right?
That's pretty much a way to summarize it.
It's because I'm beautiful.
Summer it up.
Yeah,
there.
summer it up there, buddy.
Summer
Summer it up. It is May. Let's
Well,
summer it up.
we've had requests
Yes.
in the past that say,
Yes.
"Hey, there's people out there that do a podcast, but they also have video of it."
Right.
And I thought, well, that could be something we could.
We said, yeah, that's great. Those people don't have full-time jobs as well, and they do that full-time or whatever they do. So we made excuses, and we're out of excuses now.
Yeah. Well, I just wasn't sure if it would be valuable. Who wants to sit?
No,
I mean,
nobody.
Who wants to watch
Nobody.
us just stare at each other?
I can't imagine it
Stare
either.
into your ocean blue eyes.
Right.
For an hour.
Get lost in those big browns.
And
Nobody. I would say nobody, but apparently somebody. Somebody wants to hear what we have to say.
Somebody.
Or look, see what we have to say? That's
Yeah.
weird.
it's a little bit of both.
It's a little bit of both.
Well, and it was that, and it was also data management. And then part of me is like, I don't want to edit that. But then I realized, because we did Elixir, right? We're like, let's record
The live
Elixir.
review, yes.
And I realized that it's more of a raw approach, and there's really not much editing that we're going to be doing.
Right.
Other than some color grading and, whatever.
Yeah, of course, whatever. Yeah, color grade, whatever.
Yeah.
Now,
Fix it. Make
here's
those
my-
blue eyes pop is what there you go.
Here's my question, though. I don't like breaking the gaze, though. I don't, because if I feel obligated, like I have to look at the camera every once in a while just to say hi instead of staring at you,
Well, you can do both.
but not at the same time.
Yeah. Well, you can there you go. That's pretty good.
I
That's
get
pretty
this
good.
eye looking this way and this eye looking that way.
Well, and that was part of my hesitation
Don't
to doing
cross-eye.
this, because I thought, well, to do this good, you need a couple cameras.
Right, to do
you
it
want
well,
to cut back
you
and
need
forth to the
cameras as well.
people who are talking. We
Right.
don't always want the side of our face, but whatever. We're doing it.
Whatever,
doing
we're gonna do it.
And so the final thing was data
Now, you keep
management.
saying data. I always thought it was data.
No,
It's data.
it's data.
It's not data.
No, data is
The Star Trek
stuff
character.
that is on the data.
Oh, I see. Data
Dat-
is on the data.
Yeah.
But data was also
Data
a
is
Star Trek
data is the
character.
content. Data is like how much hard drive storage it takes up.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
least-
perfect.
Makes sense, right?
Yes, totally. I'm there.
So to record these for a full 45 minutes to an hour is quite a bit of data.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's
So
okay.
data
You said you would buy
management is challenging.
another couple external hard
drives,
drives
yes.
to manage all
Yes.
said data.
Yes. It's interesting that we're talking about data and data because it reminds me of the experience that we had this last week, earlier this week, going down and getting a cup of coffee. Afterwards, we went to Safeway. Safeway? A grocery store. Whatever. We went to a grocery store.
Oh,
And we were in the medicinal section. And I asked
pharmacy.
the pharmacy. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's that's one
Yeah.
way of saying it. Yes.
In case you were wondering, Safeway has not ventured into the
Wrong medicinal.
to the herbal products.
Herbal medicinal.
Yeah.
And so I asked if one of the guys stocking the shelves in there knew where any Dramamine was.
Yeah.
And he said, I'd be delighted to show you where the Dramamine is.
Drama.
Dramamine.
It's a great name.
And so then I said, oh, do you say Dramamine or Dramamine? And he says, it's Dramamine.
Dramamine.
And so then I say, do you say caramel or caramel? And I believe he said caramel.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
And then another gentleman in the
Another
row
customer.
there, another
just walking by.
Yeah, another customer walking by. He says, "Do you say Washington or Washington?" And the guy said, the poor clerk, he says Washington. So he says Washington, caramel, and Dramamine.
Dramamine.
Yeah, I'd never heard Dramamine before.
Makes sense. Usually you're trying to prevent a lot of drama.
Prevent the drama. You're not trying to prevent the drama.
No.
You're trying to prevent the drama.
Yeah.
That's why you use Dramamine.
Exactly. It's perfect.
It does show that it is not exclusive to the coffee world, though. Like when we went to Yellow Leaf, we didn't bring this part up. I ordered a white mocha, and she said, 2 mocha Biancas coming right up.
Yeah. Well, she said it to the barista preparing it, I think.
No, I think she said it to us.
She turned and said, can I get 2?
Plus, it's happened to me there before where I've ordered a white mocha, and they said, okay, I'll get that mocha Bianca
I order
right away.
the mocha Bianca now.
I know you do because they've won you over.
I think it's respectful.
They've won you.
It shows that you're bought into the brand.
You weren't always respectful of the brand.
No, because I always thought I was ordering the wrong drink.
Right. You wanted to make sure that you were clear.
But now,
without confusion.
I'm not confused anymore.
You know
I've
that
seen the light.
You know that the mocha Bianca is a white mocha.
I want to support them.
Okay.
I will say the name.
Perfect. So it can happen to you anywhere you go.
Sure.
It can happen to you at the coffee shop. It can happen to you at the medicinal section of the grocery store.
Yeah.
It can happen to you in the pharmacy.
Happen at nighttime, daytime,
People correct you.
afternoon.
Correct you. You're saying it wrong.
Oh, people correct. Yeah.
You're saying it wrong, which is different, remember, than the experience at Boss Coffee. When I asked him, do you say caramel or caramel? I said, whatever.
Whatever.
If you order the caramel, whatever, they will say 1 caramel, whatever, coming right up.
I think as long as you understand what they want.
1 caramel, blah, blah, blah. You've got it. 1 caramel.
Yeah.
Coming right up.
Exactly.
Do you know where the Dramamine is? I know exactly where the Dramamine is. Let me show you.
Yeah.
No, it's Dramamine.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a white mocha. It's a mocha Bianca.
Yeah.
Now, you can take it too far. You can take it too far, but for me, I would prefer to err on the side of the Boss Coffee. Sure. Whatever you want. Whatever you want. There's no need to draw a line in the sand.
There is.
Take a hard stance.
Well, I think the balance for me is you just, as the one providing the service, you want to make sure you know without a doubt what they're asking for. So if you need to ask a question to make sure, don't guess. That usually looks bad.
And don't assume.
And don't come back and go, here's, or did you want, or, like if you order something at a restaurant and they're like, oh, I don't have to take notes. I don't have to write it down. Got it all up here. And you're always a little leery about them. Some people, you can just tell right away, they got this. You can just tell. Mm-hmm. They've been there, whatever, so many years, or they're that good at their skill or craft or trade, whatever.
Or there's only hamburgers, cheeseburgers on the menu.
But it's never very reassuring, exactly, if the menu's pretty limited, when they come back 5 minutes later and go, you wanted the medium, done burger, right? And you're like, yes. Or no, that was her. I wanted the chicken sandwich, whatever it is. So I think there's value in just saying, okay, you're wanting this item that we call this on the menu.
Just make sure
make sure you know what they want.
Right.
If you know without a doubt, which is pretty simple in the coffee industry because, I mean, sometimes it's not, but you mean cortado or do you mean Gibraltar? Make up your mind. Which one?
We don't have cortados here. We have Gibraltars.
Exactly. So that's the balance for me.
You?
That's the balance for me. But it's in how you communicate
not read
it.
The menu, it says Gibraltar.
Even though our gal at Yellow Leaf said that, did you feel like it was condescending?
No, of course not. She was awesome.
Because, yeah, exactly. It's how she presented it. Sometimes you go elsewhere and you're like, oh, you want this size?
Oh, you want a grande.
I wasn't going to say it.
You want a grande? Oh, that's a venti. We don't have small, medium, and large. We have tall, grande, and venti.
I don't want a tall.
Oh. So you want a small?
Yes.
Perfect.
So that's the only balance in my. That's
One
how
tall mocha, please.
And then when you're picking it up,
I'm just talking to the barista.
the
I'm just
tall
talking to the
mocha
barista.
for the gentleman with the attitude, please.
Yeah.
Serving
That's
it
what
up.
it says on your cup. Attitude.
And they write tall with extra long letters.
Tall with attitude.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So, but that's the balance for me. But I think you're absolutely right. You never want to make it a point to say, I'm going to correct you, especially when you correct someone passively. That's even worse.
Right.
It's easier, I think better if you just say, oh, okay, we call it this, and that's with the chocolate and blah, blah. Is that what we want to do today?
At least you come across as informative and caring about not only the product, like, okay, whoa, bro, you take it seriously. I didn't mean to offend you. Yes, that's what I want. It's like, oh, no offense taken. I just want to make sure I'm communicating effectively.
Yeah.
But if they're like, grande.
Yeah.
So you want a grande.
The simpleton.
So you want a grande. That's what you're telling me.
Yes.
So you're saying there's a chance.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Now,
Please.
prior to going into Safeway, we stopped at a joint called Hava Java. I'd like to tell a little bit about how
Tell
this
the
came
story.
about.
The name says it all, but tell the story.
So Mike and I had to go down to Phoenix for work, which doesn't happen too frequently, but it happens frequently enough to where it's still fun. And we get to go find cafes to visit, new cafes to visit. So I put coffee shop in Phoenix in the Google. And the Google came up with a Google ad, Hava Java. So Hava Java is rocking Google ads. Perfect.
It's got to be good.
It's got to be good. They're advertising. They're using the Google. They're using that search engine optimization. And they're trying to get people into their doors. You check it. It's award-winning. Award-winning.
What? What does that mean?
Hava Java. It means people that don't know anything about coffee are giving out awards for coffee. So I go to their website and I'm looking at it looks like a solid second wave joint. The typical espresso business profile designed for speed and efficiency. You know, espresso's first thing on the menu, limited menu, gourmet coffee.
Gourmet, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it gourmet? Gourmet.
There's a T.
Whatever, there's a T at the end. I'm going to say it. Gourmet. Gourmet coffee, which is whatever. We'll talk about that in a moment, what gourmet coffee is. And I had this dilemma that I talked about on the Daily Ristretto. Do we go to this coffee shop? Because on the last podcast, you said you love it when you get to go to a place with bad coffee and bad service. It gives you more content to write about, film about, podcast about, whatever. So do we go to a new joint to get us some content? Or do we just go to the old faithful, a.k.a. Royal? That's terrible. Michael is showing me someone got a Hava Java tattoo on their arm. And it made me throw up in my mouth a little bit. So anyhow.
That's crazy.
We decided to do both. We're going to drive down there. We're going to hit up Royal, get some cortados and some pour-overs for work. And then at lunch or after work, we're going to stop by Hava Java on the way back. A little bit out of the way, but you guys are worth it. Give us something to talk about. Perfect. And it was exactly what we thought it was going to be. Royal was awesome. The coffee was good. The lines were long. We really don't know why they only have one person working there.
Yeah.
They really need another person.
To.
It is. She was great. She acknowledges people. She says, "Hey,
she's hustling.
I'll be with you in just a moment. I'm going to make these drinks real quick." We bought a lot of coffee. I bought 2 cortados, 2 pour-overs, 2 mochas. And so I said, "Hey, after the cortados, help these other people, and I'll be back because we're not going anywhere. We're going to kick it for a few minutes."
Exactly.
The pour-overs were for us to take to work, and the mochas were for some ladies down at the office. At the office. If you recall, Mike and I brought a mocha and a pour-over for work the last time we were there.
Quite clearly.
The gal that was shadowing me for the day, job shadowing, she got the black pour-over instead of the mocha that she wanted.
The Tanzania, I believe.
We had to make it right.
Yeah.
We had to make it right. And she said, when we brought her the mocha this time,
that's funny.
The cat came out the bag and we said, "Hey, we know we gave you the wrong coffee last time." She said, "It was good. I still drank it."
Yeah.
And then the gal working the front desk, I bring her coffees because She works the front
She's
desk.
kind of stuck there, yeah.
She's stuck there all day.
Yeah.
She answers phones. It's a pretty thankless
You can't
job.
really leave it without someone backing you up. So
It's a thankless position. And I
Yeah.
think that no matter where you are, if you recognize there is a position more thankless than yours, and you have the ability to make their day special, you
That's
should try
nice.
to do it.
Yeah.
You should try to do it.
It's great.
It's like one of my sergeants major when I was in the Marine Corps, he would always come by on the weekend to bring the guard staff donuts.
oh,
If you were on guard duty on the
Yeah,
weekends,
that's nice.
he would come by and
Just
he would bring a
something-
little something.
yeah.
Just a little something
actually,
to say thank
it's
you.
really big. It makes a difference.
It is a big deal. It's a small gesture that makes a big difference.
It really does.
And you never know what's going on in somebody's life. She sent me an email saying, hey, thank you. I had a coffee nightmare this morning, and
Here you come.
you made my day.
Yeah.
You never know whose day you're going
You
to
don't.
make just from something as simple as dropping a mocha off.
That's cool.
And if you've been in that job, or you have that job right now where you can't leave without somebody coming and relieving you,
Mm-hmm.
then you know how special it is that those with the freedom to come and go as they please, when they stop by to say thank you,
Yeah.
it means a lot.
That's
And
cool.
she's there to help everybody in the building. She takes phone messages, takes phone calls. It's a thankless job.
Yeah.
So we try to give her a little bit of love whenever we can. And I think that's appropriate. And I think you should try to do the same if you can. So anyhow,
Good deal.
after we did Royal, and that was
Royal.
all great. We had
Royal
the
was good.
cortados.
That was
They were
good.
great. The service was great. Coffee was great. Everything great.
Just need a second barista.
Just need a second barista. After work, we go to Hava Java. Out of the way, but you guys are worth it. Second wave, and it was terrible.
But see, before we get into it a little bit, I want to throw out there, which I knew was
Throw it out there, buddy. Throw it out there.
I knew it was available or expressed a little bit that it was kind of a high rated shop, but I didn't realize this much. As Jake already mentioned, somebody's got a tattoo of their logo, their Facebook page.
It's big.
4.6 rating. They've
big.
got 4.5 on TripAdvisor. They say people are traveling 100 plus miles to come visit them. There is this huge buzz about how awesome this coffee shop is.
And it's not the coffee.
It was not the coffee.
It was not the coffee,
I have a hunch.
but we'll go into why we think that is. Or
Mm-hmm.
maybe we'll just start talking about it. Just get back into it here. So we walk in. And
So two
go
guys.
to the counter. Two guys walk in.
Yep. We're not going to say how we got there.
Two guys in a little red Miata walk in.
Convertible.
In a little convertible red Miata. Walk in. Long story. Don't ask questions. We walk in, and Mike orders the frappe, or
Yeah,
the
I
frozen blend, the ice blended,
It was like a mocha java.
a mocha java,
No, wait.
ice blended something or other. But it was ice.
Frozen
it was blended,
Java.
Frozen Java, something along those lines.
Yeah.
So Mikey orders that. She turns around for like 3 seconds. We're looking at the menu. She flips back around, and there's the mocha java right in front of him. And Mike's like, what? And I look over.
What kind of witchcraft is this?
It was out of a machine.
Frozen java.
It had a little frozen Java machine.
$4.50. Got the medium.
$4.50 for pre-made frozen Java machine,
Which should have had a double shot according to the menu.
which is very interesting because the plastic cup that it came on actually had room for name, shots, what syrups, did the different things that you would typically
A breakdown.
expect. But there was no way any shots of espresso made it into that thing. There was no espresso in there. It was all pre-made deliciousness
ready
for
to
your
go.
convenience.
Yeah, medium.
So
Which I imagine is a popular drink because it's Phoenix.
gotta be. It's gotta be.
You don't always want a hot coffee, which I didn't want. That's why I
She
went with
served
it.
it with authority. I would have been so embarrassed to serve that to anybody.
Threw the
that
whipped
I
cream
know.
on top.
Throw the
Slam
whipped
that
cream
lid
top,
on.
Slam the lid on, and the whipped cream sticking out the top. I told her, just lick it. Just lick that thing off and then hand it to Mike. He likes it like that. She didn't.
I was trying to help her, which was awkward because it was clearly too much for that little lid. I'm like, oh, you don't have to put the lid on. And she's like, oh, no, it'll fit.
It'll fit.
And then she slams on. She's like, I've been doing this 12 years.
12 years.
I know what.
I know what's going on.
know
I know
much.
how much
Yeah.
whipped cream fits on here.
And I'm like,
there
well,
you go. They give you a little
I know.
something, something.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
there
I
you go.
tried to teach the master. I apologize.
Yes. It reminds me of Dutch Bros. Remember, for the kids' drinks,
Yeah.
they'll put a little bit of whipped cream at the tip of the straw.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of cool. But this was just whipped cream flowing out of everywhere.
This is coming.
Just flowing out of everywhere.
Well, that's good. I mean, because ultimately, I think that's where our money's worth was.
Perfect. Was in the whipped cream.
Was in the whipped cream.
So Mikey gets that, and I order a mocha.
A mocha.
A medium mocha. And it had it on the menu. 1 shots, 2 shots, 3 shots. So I order the 2-shot mocha. She throws the milk in there, no measuring, no whatever, which is typical, right?
Oh, yeah.
Milk in there, throws it on there, sets the steam on, and it's just going. It's going to town. It starts boiling and bubbling over. Milk's going everywhere.
It's happening.
Flowing out of the side of the canister. She's getting scones ready for another lady that ordered, and I asked her about the scones. She's like, oh, thanks for reminding me. I totally forgot that somebody else needed scones to go. Let me grab those real quick.
Yeah.
So she grabs the scones to go for some
She was
other
moving
lady.
quick.
She was hustling.
She was all over.
Hustling.
She was.
And she says, oh, the pastries are buy one, get one free. So we got some pastries. Mm-hmm. Didn't offer to warm them up for us, which would have been nice. I probably should have said something, but there were some other kids in line behind us, so I didn't want to be a prima donna.
Yeah.
Like, oh, could you please warm my chocolate croissant and be a darling?
26 seconds at 1,300 watts.
Please. We are particular. So the milk is just going everywhere. And finally the espresso comes out.
Yeah.
The chocolate, espresso, milk, whipped
Boom.
cream, and then she hands it to me. She doesn't put the lid on and puts the little sprinkles of chocolate on, and I go outside. And it was horrible. It was really, really bad. In fact, it tasted like watered down chocolate milk, or just real thin.
Yeah, it was chocolate milk.
It was chocolate milk.
Yeah, I tried a little.
0 coffee flavor.
It almost had almost a little burnt aftertaste is what I got from it.
Maybe a little.
Just a little bit.
If anything.
Maybe it was the milk.
Where do you guys get your beans from? Oh, the espresso we get flown in from Washington, from Seattle. It comes from Seattle, the birthplace of coffee.
Question it no more.
There are no goats. There is no Italy. There is nowhere but Seattle. Seattle is it.
That's it.
The end all be all. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
I think that's where they first discovered it.
Yes, that's where they first discovered coffee and espresso.
That's where the goat was running around in the mountains.
The goat was running around. Was in Seattle.
It's the epicenter.
So Seattle. Oh, our beans are from Seattle, and then the regular coffee is locally roasted.
Yeah.
So one of the menu items, it goes espresso, and then down at the bottom says gourmet coffee.
Gourmet coffee.
So I ask her.
So I says to her.
What? So I says, "What's is this gourmet coffee?" And she says, I even gave her a chance. I said, "What's gourmet?
Yeah,
what does the gourmet? Does that mean
you let her
that the beans are roasted, and at the end of the roast, they're doused with kind of these flavors because they had different flavors up there,
hazelnut,
the almond, the hazelnut, the cinnamon, that stuff." And then she's like, "Oh no, it's just coffee. It's just regular coffee.
It's just non-Seattle coffee.
It's just regular coffee. Yeah, that's it. It's a non-Seattle coffee.
Pretty much anything
but
Seattle.
It's just regular coffee." Oh, well, that's nice.
Oh, is it Portland?
So gourmet coffee is either or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it makes a difference.
Seattle is the birthplace, but Portland is like new wave.
Oh.
Like the real guys. Like we get ours from Portland and we grind it extra fine.
The heirlooms are like from Seattle.
That was the sensational.
I gotcha.
That was the sensational. We grind our beans extra fine.
A little finer.
We take it down a little finer.
Yep.
It's going to be a little better than the rest of these coffee shops.
So good.
So good. So
a little finer.
We get the cup.
A little more chocolate.
I get my cup, and they're branded. They're great. They have great designs. Obviously, they're so great that people get tattoos of them. Awesome. And it even says 2014, a bunch of awards. Best cappuccino.
Yeah.
Best this, best
I was
that,
trying to
best
find
the other
those.
thing. And I was like, you're kidding me. How is this possible? How is this possible? They're doing business right, though. Let me tell you how right they're doing business.
Where'd they go right?
She was awesome.
She was.
She was very engaging.
Yep.
She answered questions. She was talking to us. She was talking to the next people in line. She was fun. Her service was awesome. She was incredible.
She was it.
She was it.
That's why.
Really it.
Yep.
The coffee, terrible. The coffee was terrible. Outside, they have a stand for when it gets busy and when it gets hot and when I don't even know, what do they do? Do they have things in the parking lot? Maybe they have like car shows or something, but they have inside a cafe and they have an espresso machine outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looked like it. So they can just get out some more drinks quickly. Maybe it's just the frozen drinks.
I don't know. No, it was an espresso machine. It had all
you saw
the hookups.
it? Oh,
it had all the hookups.
Yeah, I didn't look. Okay.
So they had everything. They have the dual
cool.
inside outside ready to go.
Hava
Hava
making it happen.
They said service. It's the speed and the service.
Yeah.
The coffee really does take, third, fourth, fifth, sixth place on wherever the spectrum is there.
Yeah, it does. Which is unfortunate.
But it's working for them.
Well, I think if you compare that, all right, if you have a metropolitan area like that where there's a lot of coffee shops, especially second wave coffee shops, what's going to set you out? Well, if you're not willing to go with the specialty coffee, the true, the better tasting coffee, what do? It's service.
What do you mean better tasting? I got cinnamon.
You got cinnamon?
I got cinnamon flavors.
You got a little cinnamon. Oh.
I got cinnamon flavors in my coffee.
Yeah, but
this burnt it, roast it.
Not organic.
Oh, it's not organic.
No.
But
that's what sets them out. That's what sets them apart.
Yeah.
Service.
Yeah.
And it made the difference.
And they're killing the service.
Yeah.
We only really have one thing to talk about. I mean, the service was great. We were hoping for bad service and bad coffee. At least Mike was hoping for that.
Well, I don't know.
I was hoping to be proven wrong.
The drink, the frozen, the blended I got.
You didn't finish it.
No, I couldn't.
You had
I felt bad because you paid too.
8 sips. Of course I paid. Because Mikey did the whole, I forgot my wallet trick. I'm telling you, I can't even.
Great. It works.
Can't I even tell you how many times he does this?
Oh, I can. I keep it track.
Every
it's part of the budget.
It's in the budget.
Ooh.
Forgotten wallet trick, pay. Forgotten wallet trick, pay. Forgot.
In my
pay.
defense,
Yes.
When you wear more of a slack or a pantsuit, you have a better line in the front.
Pantsuit.
Yeah. No, a pant or slack.
I could totally see you and Hillary Clinton in matching pantsuits.
Could you? Yeah,
I could totally see that right now.
Yeah, I think she forgets her wallet too.
Wait a second. Did I not pay for Royal in the morning as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's more background story to that.
There is, but I don't. It's not
because you were man down. Somebody was outside.
I wasn't going to get into all of
That's connected to the Dramamine.
That's connected to the Dramamine.
And the Miata.
And the Miata. And the Dramamine.
Yeah, there's a story in there. But my point is I take it out because I don't like to have, the wallet in the pocket. Right. I don't like seeing
your wallet when you walk around into coffee shops to order coffee.
Yeah. I put it in my bag, which was in the trunk of the Miata because there's no back seat. It's a two-seater.
It's a two-seater. So Mikey shows up in the morning, and he normally drives. And he's rolling a sedan. He rolls a Saab.
Four-door.
And he normally drives. He gets
9.3 turbo.
I didn't know that he was this inclined to car sickness.
I didn't think I would get sick either.
I would have just made him drive. Because I try to be a very good driver. I drive with a mindfulness to not make people in the car sick. But so his car had a nail in the tire. So we weren't going to take it on the long drive to Phoenix.
A
screw. The wife needed the van. I didn't want to take just the two of us in the big free candy van because it still had all the football equipment and everything in the back. It was no sense in taking that all the way down to Phoenix, especially when Mom's wasn't working and Mom says, take the Miata.
Take the Miata.
I don't like taking the Miata.
Well, the Miata's manual.
I think for obvious reasons, I don't like going anywhere with Mike and I in the Miata. Unless it's...
Yeah, down to Phoenix, to Hava Java.
Down to Phoenix. Scottsdale. So anyhow, Mike and I get in the Miata, and we head on down there, and my driving made him car sick. I don't know if it was my driving.
It wasn't your driving. I don't know.
I
honestly don't know.
Smooth, but he went man down. He went man down hard. Did you even enjoy the Cortado? We went man down.
I did.
I did. Down so hard.
Well, it
may not have even enjoyed the Cortado.
It was like the onset. I never did actually get too sick. I recovered 45 minutes an hour.
Quickly
Took a little
enough.
bit.
Quickly enough.
No, I enjoyed the Cortado. I don't know what it was. I do have a history of car sickness, but I think it was just because we were kind of having an energetic conversation early on. At least I was.
What were we talking about?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I was excited to share something, podcast. I don't know.
Coffee is me, Valerian, something like that.
So I just get too into it, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if you get car sickness, it's the worst feeling in the world. You get that heat flash that just comes over your body.
And there's no
going back.
And there's no way to lean the seat back in the Miata.
And there's no stopping it. The only way to stop it is to truly get out of the car. And I was on an empty stomach, which I've learned is worse. Yeah. So I forced down a Cliff Bar.
That was good.
And we were good to go.
Of all the things that you could have forced down, the Cliff Bar would not have been in my top 3.
Oh, it was peanut butter. It's good.
There you go. It was the peanut butter Cliff Bar.
That's why I went with it. I didn't want the sugary pastry.
No.
So I went with the sugary peanut butter bar.
Perfect. It was way better.
I don't know. At that moment, I just said here.
So, all right. So that was Hava Java and Royal Coffee. I think the next thing we're going to talk about is Manny G Recommends.
Manny G Recommends.
Always loved that little tune.
Manny G recommends the December coffee dripper. Big shout outs to my man Nick Cho, though.
Nick, yeah.
So here's the thing. This December coffee dripper came up, and I don't think I was in time to back it. Mikey is has backed it, and I'll let him talk a little bit more, because Manny's backed it as well. Manny recommends that you check it out. You can't back it anymore, but you can check out the links in the show notes, and you can possibly get yourself one when it hits the market. Mm-hmm. But that's not what was most impressive to me. What was most impressive to me was the video that they put up to promote the Kickstarter. My man Nick Cho owned 3 minutes and 33 seconds worth of video awesomeness. Even if you are not interested in backing the Kickstarter, you should at least go watch the movie or the video. The Nick Cho.
Yeah.
Right away, as soon as my man shows up on
rundown,
screen, you're in. You're in. Because he's awesome. He's likable. He's just engaging.
Very approachable.
He gives you one look, and you're like, and I was like, I love this dude.
I gotta
and
go
then
talk
at
to
the
him.
end, he's like, we love you, man. And I'm like, no, Nick, I love you, bro. I love you.
That's funny.
We got to get him on the show. We got to find a way to get Nick Cho on the show.
Yeah.
Nick Cho on the show.
Exactly. Well, and I think that adds to, the confidence in the device. Just somebody so genuine. He's like, we've been working on this. And we've come up with what we think to be one of the best, if not the best, pour-over devices out there.
Yeah.
So we're excited. It's got you can control the flow. You can shut it off, and you can control it. And it's the way he kind of described it was specifically...
What do you mean, shut it off? Back up a little bit. Take 2 steps back and tell me a little bit more about the December coffee dripper.
Basically, it's made out of metal.
Good job. Wow, you are really, really good at this.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was I was going to say aluminum, but I was like, no, it's not aluminum.
Aluminum.
It's metal.
It's stainless steel.
That's it. I knew metal didn't sound right. That's why I was pausing. Stainless steel, which because it's not not a good conductor of heat. Well, it's a metal.
Oh, okay. It's a metal.
Which is not a good conductor of heat, which is good because you don't want heat being pulled from your brew, from your slush, from your slurry, from your soup.
It was interesting that he said it doesn't conduct heat. Like that was a good thing.
Yeah.
If you listen to the Brewer's Cup, this last year, you listen to all of them, they all say, I use porcelain because porcelain conducts heat best. I use glass because glass conducts heat best. I use metal because metal conducts heat best.
Yeah.
I've
heard it many different
styrofoam
times.
because styrofoam conducts heat best.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to say, oh, it conducts the heat the best. But in reality, do you want your heat going out and away, or do you want it to stay into your drink? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
You do know.
But I know that someone does know.
Yeah. Yeah, he knows. And that's why what was his name?
Nick Cho.
Nick knows. Nick knows.
Nick at night. Nick knows.
So they use that as a material, and he said it was all handmade.
Ooh, there's so many things. There's so many different
I can't remember them.
We could have. Get your flow with Nick Cho. I'm telling you, there's just
the ideas are endless.
It's limitless.
It is. But I think some of the key features are that you can rotate the bottom. It's got 3 different settings, and you can basically dial in the flow rate. You can turn it off completely, meaning it's not flowing, so it turns into essentially an immersion brewer.
That's
cool.
Like the Clever Dripper.
Pretty much, yeah. Or you can say, hey, I'm doing just 1 cup, so I want the flow to be restricted, or I'm doing more, so I need to open that up because I want a little stronger flow. He says it just gives you an opportunity outside of just messing with grind to dial in that perfect brew. And I think that's kind of cool. And I think if you can adjust it on the fly, because I've had this just this morning in a pour over, the grind, for whatever reason, was too fine. And it was clogging up. It was slowing down on me. If I could just on the fly say, okay, let's open this up a little bit. We're going too long. On the fly adjustment. I don't know. I think you can do that. It looks simple enough. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've put a lot of time and money into this.
Yes.
Over 2 years from conceptualization to our first production test units. Now, they've been on the market in Korea.
2 years.
Over 2 years,
I thought you were going to say $2 million.
$2 million
has been contributed to this campaign.
No. They knocked it out the park, though. They won at $15K, and they got almost 60.
Yes, that's cool.
That's sweet. Good job. And you know what? If I had big money like Manny G and Mike Kincaid, as soon as I saw Nick Cho, I'd have been like, take my money.
Take it.
Just take my money. I probably, if I would have watched the video, I probably would have backed it.
Yeah, you don't watch videos, though.
I'm not a big video guy.
Videos are great.
I know that now. Now I know. After
Nick's convinced you. Yeah.
Nick Cho convinced me of video.
You like being on videos.
Video.
Not
I don't,
watch.
I don't know if I like being on video
Yeah, you do.
as much as video likes being on me. What? That's right, baby. All right.
Okay.
What just happened to me?
Good. Glad this is the first time we're attempting a full video podcast. Getting this interaction.
Awesome. So, nextly,
Okay.
there is nextly in our.
What's that? Is that
video
Nick?
Playing. No, it's not Nick. Nick, stop. No. So I accidentally clicked on a link, and it's an autoplay for the Business Insider, which is where the links are going to be in the show notes. But Dr. Frank Hu, H-U. If it's Who, I'm going to say Who. If it's Hugh, forgive me, I'm saying Who. He just finished a 20-year study on the effects of coffee on the human body. People who drink more coffee, it turns out, live longer.
What?
We've been trying to
20
convince
years?
you, 20-year study. Here's the deal. This is what the deal is. Previously, coffee studies had never removed smokers from the group.
Yeah.
And a lot of coffee drinkers smoke as well.
Sure.
They have historically. I don't smoke. I don't normally hang out with a bunch of. I don't have any friends that smoke. I don't think it's just not a real popular thing where I'm at. Now in Germany, everybody smokes.
Sure.
So they never took the smokers out of the control groups
The
or
equation.
the groups.
Yeah.
They did for this study.
Yeah. They accounted for them.
They accounted for the smokers and they removed them. They're left with coffee drinkers versus non-coffee drinkers. And coffee drinkers live longer.
Yeah. As well
3 cups plus. And I think that are you going to get into the colon cancer? Is that where you're going with
I was
it?
just say there were other, but you can keep going.
Well, I didn't want to talk about people's colons on the show. Makes me feel a little odd.
The more coffee you drink, the less you have to talk about it.
But fellas, for real, let's get real. Colon cancer will kill you.
Sure will.
Drink more coffee. Cleanse that colon out.
Yep.
Get yourself a healthy colon by drinking 3 cups plus a day.
Little fiber.
Boom.
Good to go.
Boom. Get you regular. Get that. Yes.
Yeah. Talking about flow rate.
Talking about flow rate. You don't want to be on 0.
No.
You don't want an immersion technique. You want a 3. You want a big flow.
Yeah.
You want a big flow. Good flow.
Got it.
You don't want it hanging out.
I think they're picking up what you're...
I think they're picking up what I'm putting down as well.
What you're flowing out.
Reminds me this morning of the Daily Ristretto.
Oh, good.
I was talking about the AeroPress puck. As I was ejecting the AeroPress puck, my youngest son, he says, "Oh, it looks like a coffee poop." The AeroPress and bam.
Yeah.
And then AeroPress, because they were in the title of the Daily Ristretto, I guess.
Yeah.
They retweeted the tweet that came out.
Oh, nice.
And
Perfect.
I was like, I don't think they listened to it. I don't think, because if you were like, Orange Cactus, you guys are full of poop.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have
retweet.
like and retweet. You guys are great. I mean,
actually, I think I would.
We probably would. 'Cause any attention is good attention for us.
Exactly.
We're a bunch of unknown bozos, but we are using the AeroPress, so I guess any news
It's
is
promotion.
good news.
Yeah.
Same kid though,
And I'm
he had
sure.
a tummy ache,
Oh yeah.
and he's like, he's the kid that he had some tummy troubles. He'd be like, "Papa, it was a huge poop."
Yeah.
All that to say, drink your coffee, get your colon cleansed, be healthy. Cleansed?
Yeah.
Get your colon cleansed?
Cleansed. Yep.
Cleansed. That's a word. It should be. If it's not, it should be.
Yep.
Clean. Okay, we're done.
AeroPress it out.
Done with colons. All right.
But that's a good study, and it proves that there's some good things in coffee.
So Mikey wants to come up with a new section, speaking of good things in coffee.
I do.
And this section
is brought to you by...
Well, we don't have any sponsors. But if we were to have sponsors, it would be brought to you by...
Coffee courses.
Coffee courses, I don't know. The Coffee Companion, coffeecompanion.com. The section that Mikey wants to have is Coffee Experts. I should make a little thing. In fact, I'm going to make a little Coffee Experts intro jingle, and I'm going to play it right now. Coffee Experts.
maybe you'll do better next time.
Maybe I'll do better next time. So this is Kevin Sinnott. Sinnott? It's
Yes.
Sinnott. Sinnott? 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 I don't know. Kevin. My man Kev. So I really like the Coffee Companion site. And Mikey decided, or when he decided that he wanted to highlight different coffee experts in the industry, Kevin was the first one that he came to.
Well, and there was a connection because I thought, hey, we're reading this book because we started just briefly when we went back to the origins in coffee history.
The Art and Craft of Coffee.
It was written.
It's written by Kevin.
It's written by somebody.
Big Kev.
Who's it written by? I don't know. Let me find out. It's written by Kevin. So, like, who is Kevin?
Big Kev. Well, Kevin is a nationally recognized coffee expert. He's the author of 2 books and a DVD known as Coffee Brewing Secrets. His latest book is called The Art and Craft of Coffee. Publishers Weekly has called it the best book on the subject in recent years. He's taught coffee with Oprah Winfrey on national television, been featured in USA Today, the Chicago Tribune, and other national publications, and discussed coffee and coffee brewing methods on ABC TV's 2020, the Food Network, and countless radio talk shows, but not the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast, because you guys are lame.
We just talk about him.
But since 1995, he's been rocking this Coffee Companion.
Yeah.
Legit. Legend. Kevin the Legend. Can we call him Kevin the Legend?
I think it's done.
Kevin the Legend.
Kevin. So that's him.
So we've been using his book.
Yeah.
It was something, I don't think Manny G recommended this book yet. But you know what? Manny G would recommend it. Manny G would recommend it. So you should still check it out. And you should check out coffeecompanion.com.
Yeah. It's a good place to start.
That's a good place to start. And it's a good place to finish. Go ahead, Mike. You any coffee history today or no? Do you just want to look at the book?
Oh.
Do you want to just
Do
look
you
at
want
it?
to, well.
No, it's boring
No.
as all get up.
We, yeah. For you, actually, it's really interesting. No, we don't have to go into it today because we went into Kevin. That was more appropriate, I think.
It was more just talking about Kevin. And
Just who Kevin is, and I think he's got a lot of good resources. We recommend him if you're somebody that's like, where do I start? I'm hopping into all these shops. Some are specialty, some aren't. How do I brew at home?
what's the difference?
How do I roast? What is roasting? Start with this book, The Art and Craft of Coffee by Kevin Sinnott.
We'll throw a link in the show notes.
He's a good dude.
And
He's legit.
I'm sorry, that legitimacy will bring us into the last section, the brew tip of the week.
Oh, you're looking at me.
Yes, I'm looking at you. Press pot, update on the Hoffman method.
Yes.
Read the notes. You wrote this.
I wrote them, but I wrote them so long ago.
You wrote this.
I wrote them.
didn't come up with this stuff. I'm just feeding you. I'm lobbing them to you.
Yes. No, I'm with you. That's this book. Oh, how about that? How about
Oh my goodness.
I forgot we had a video going.
Yes, there's a video.
Don't pick your nose.
I didn't pick my nose this time.
Oh.
But I do have a scratch.
I lost my page. All right, no, here we go. So, yeah, press pot update.
Yes. Also known as a French press.
Yes.
We got to call it something weird and different, though.
Well, there's many different types of press. Press pot includes a French press, an American press, and also
An AeroPress?
Yeah. It's a form of a press.
It is, but you can't do this James Hoffman method.
No, so I want to give an update on the James Hoffman method, which, if you are unfamiliar, we mentioned, I don't know, a couple episodes back. I'm just going from memory. Here we go.
James Hoffman, Jim7.com.
Yeah.
Jim7 Legend. Kevin Legend, Jim7 Legend.
Yeah.
I'm liking where this is going.
Yeah.
It should be not coffee expert, coffee legends.
Legends.
Coffee legends.
Yeah, I like it. Legends in the Mist.
Legends in the mist. Midst or mist?
Legends.
Like gorillas in the mist or legends in the midst of us?
Mist.
Mist. That's like Sigourney Weaver, gorillas in the mist?
Yes. But legends.
Yes.
So he had a recommendation that I had never tried, but like, this is very interesting. So when using a press pot, don't press.
Don't press it.
What? Mind blown.
What? Boom. It's like that's the whole purpose of the press pot is to press down.
Yeah.
But you're saying, no, don't do it.
Don't do it. Resist the urge.
Resist the urge to press.
Yeah.
So you put your beans in, your fresh ground, or your medium to coarse, or does he want fine? What does he want?
You go with the same as like a pour over, so a little bit more fine,
A little
medium
finer than
fine.
you typically would. In fact, if you buy a French press from Bodum, and we'll throw some links in the show notes. Mike is playing footsies with me under the table. I just want to acknowledge it again because we're on video, and if I get this weird look on my face, you need to know what it was. So that's why I'm bringing it up again, because Mikey keeps doing it. So if you buy the Bodum or whatever type of French press, it's going to tell you use a coarse grind.
Yeah.
In the instructions, don't do that.
Don't do it.
You're telling me to use a finer grind like you would use for a pour over.
That's what they say.
Okay.
So my update is we recommended this already, but I've since used it several times. And I will say, and so I'll finish. What you do is you use a little bit finer grind. You steep for 4 minutes. And then
so I pour the hot water in. Do I let it bloom or no bloom?
No bloom.
No bloom. I just fill up.
Fill it up.
With my ratio 15 to 1, 20
Sure.
to 1, whatever
15 to
it is
1 is
that
a
I
good
want.
spot.
Okay. So if I got 20, 300, 40, 600, whatever it is I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I filled it up with hot water.
Yes, ideally.
Do I give it a stir?
Yes.
Okay. I give it a stir to make sure all the grounds are saturated.
You got it.
And now what?
And then you let it steep for 4 minutes.
Okay.
Let it steep for 4 minutes.
With lid on or lid off?
You can do either. Lid on just helps keep some of the steam in.
Keep some of the heat in there.
Yeah, so I think that's up to you. If it's so full that when you put the lid on, you're pushing on the grounds, you might leave it off.
Okay,
But
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not as big of a deal. So after 4 minutes, the next thing you do is give it another stir. Most of the grounds will have fallen to the bottom. They would have sunk it.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah, sinkage.
Falling to the bottom.
Yeah, sinkage. The top, though, leaves you with like this fine, foamy-looking silt type stuff, which kind of looks good. It almost looks like a froth.
It looks yummy.
Yeah, it's not.
Scoop
it off.
Don't eat that.
Yeah, scoop it off. Get rid of that.
Okay.
It's very bitter. Try it. Put it in a little cup and taste it, and you'll be like, yeah.
Nice.
Things don't always taste like they look.
Right? Like
yeah.
cocoa powder.
Yeah, like chocolate-covered dirt balls.
I haven't never tried chocolate-covered dirt balls.
Looks good.
But it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
So scoop that off, and then here's the thing he says to do. Let it sit for another 6 minutes.
What? That's too long.
You're
It's going to be over-extracted.
Yeah. Yes. My thought exactly.
Okay.
But do it.
Okay.
Do it anyway. Resist the urge.
All right.
Let it sit.
And I still haven't pressed it yet.
Don't press.
So I've scooped the silt off the top.
You can put the lid on.
Now my lid's on.
Yep.
Now what do I do?
That's when you let it rest.
Okay, 6 minutes is gone. Now what?
That's as far as I've gotten.
How many do you have sitting at home right now?
I usually forget that I'm making coffee, and I've since moved on.
Perfect. So
No, set a timer. Remind yourself, because you probably will forget.
How many of these pots are laying around now?
And then you simply make sure that the screen, usually just by putting the lid on, the screen's immersed in the water.
Okay.
It's below the spout, which is all that you want to do. And you are going to pour ever so slowly so you don't disturb the grounds. Gently. You're going to decant it. You're going to pour it into cups or into a serving vessel.
That's a fancy word, decant.
Decant.
I'm going to decant that.
Yeah, I heard someone say it once.
Perfect.
And you do it gently. And so anything that might float up is going to be caught by the screen the same way it would, I guess, if you press it. The idea is by not pressing, you're not stirring up the coffee, the fines.
Those fines which sunk to the bottom during the brewing process.
And by letting it sit, the extra 6 minutes, you've let it all settle. And he said another benefit, which I admit it was, is that it cooled down so you can almost drink right away. And a lot of times with the press pot, I've noticed that it's usually very hot, and I can't start drinking right away. So by letting it sit, as soon as you pour, number one, you don't have any silt, you don't have any any of the fines in your cup. Number two, it's at the perfect temperature to start consuming right away. And number three, it tastes amazing.
Now, if I'm drinking with cream and sugar, should I not leave it 6 whole minutes because the creamer is going to cool it a little bit?
Yeah, you could play with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
I mean, the idea is just let it sit a little bit. Let the silt rest.
Let it sit.
And Tim had a similar recommendation. Now,
Tim Wendelbo?
Yeah, Tim.
Legend.
And Chris.
Tim Wend, legend.
And Chris.
And Chris Baca?
Yes.
Legend.
That's where I heard the word decant.
Chewbacca legend.
Yes. So yeah, try it. You will probably, I poured it in 3 different mugs, with some family members, and none of them had any
Cream
silt.
and sugar. Oh, silt.
None of them had any of the, whatever you want to call it. None of the fine grounds. None of the fines, none of the silt was in the bottom of the cups. It was awesome. And it was probably the most flavorful French press I've ever had.
Wow.
So I fully contest it's a great version. And then, which is interesting because I just want to throw out there in Kevin's book on French press,
The Art and Craft of Coffee.
He talks about as soon as you put the grounds in the water in, you pump the plunger, the press, to stir it up and cause some turbulence.
Oh, wow.
Which is, I guess, the same thing as stirring.
Have you tried it?
I haven't tried it.
You haven't tried the pump?
Sounds kind of fun, though.
Yeah, it does.
So anyway, there's many different methods, but seriously, give this one a try. When we recommended it, I had not yet tried it, but now I'm a believer.
And hit us up. Let us know how it was. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Until then.
Until then.
Until then, indeed, thank you so much for hanging with us. I'm sorry the sound quality started to drop off there, especially for my mic by the end. I'll try and get it fixed for episode 50, because I don't know if I got it fixed for 49. I don't think I did. So my apologies there. As always, you can find the show notes at orangecactuscoffee.com/episode 48. And as always, thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time.